let's have a closer look at Dorian. Here's the Dorian scale, taken from that previous intro video on modes. And you can see it sounds mostly like a minor. It sounds a lot similar to minor, I think, in part because we've got the first, that pentachord is do, re, mi, fa, sol in minor, where things are a little bit different is on this note. Now think about the key of D minor for a moment. If I wanted this to be D minor has one flat, right? And that flat is B flat. So with this note flat, now this is a D natural minor or Aeolian scale. But what we're going to do is raise that a half step. So we can think of the Dorian mode as basically a natural minor scale with a raised sixth degree, right? Instead of lay, we have la. And this is useful if I want to go into, say, a different key, right? So let's say I want to write the G Dorian scale. I might start by, let's start with the key signature. I might add the key signature for G minor, which I hope you remember is two flats. I'm not going to worry that that says B flat. We know what I'm doing here. Okay, so here's G natural minor, or also known as G Aeolian. Now, we could think of the G Dorian scale as the second mode of F major, or I could just remember that it's G natural minor, but with a raised scale degree 6, right? G, A, B, C, D. We're going to raise this so that it is natural, and now we have this. Right, and if I wanted to name this scale, well, it would be G Dorian, and we would call this diatonic 1 flat on G. Now, diatonic 1 flat on F is F major, and I can do this either by naturalizing the note, or I could also think about changing the key signature, right? So I can go into the key signature and go down one flat. And so another way to think about how to get to Dorian is start with natural minor and then take away a flat or add a sharp to the key signature, right? So let's do one more right next to it. Let's think about a harder key. Let's think about F sharp Dorian, right? So think for a minute with me. F sharp minor, what's the key signature? You shouted at the screen, 3 sharps, right? So this would be my F sharp natural minor. Let's bring it down. F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F. And if I want to change this into F sharp Dorian, what do I have to do? Let's do it with the key signature. What do I need to do? I need to add a sharp, right? Or take away a flat, but there are no flats, right? So I'm going to add a sharp here, change key signature to 4 sharps, right? And now we actually want to make sure that stays sharp, right? So here is that raised scale degree 6, and we would say that this is F sharp Dorian, diatonic, 4 sharps on F sharp, right? And so we can just make a little note to ourselves. We're going to say to get a Dorian scale, start with natural minor or Aeolian. They're the same thing. Either add a flat add a sharp / take away a flat from the key signature, or raise scale degree 6. And ideally, when we think about the mode, we think about the idea that this is mostly a minor type mode, but it's got a raised scale degree 6. That's its character. And that should be an easy way for you to get to Dorian. You can always also think about Dorian as the second mode of a major scale, right? Really the first rotation. But for me, I like to think about what the altered note is. In this case, the altered note is that 6th scale degree, that characteristic La on scale degree 6. And we'll see this in some action, but that's how we get to Dorian. Hope it's helpful.